Hello and welcome to the Gooner Talk, back again with you guys for another episode of the Arsenal Transfer Show. Joining you live every morning at 8 a.m. UK time. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing well. You've had a fantastic week so far. You've nearly made it until the next match day. Of course, thank you so much for tuning in. Do drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here with those notifications turned on so you never miss a show. Good morning in the chat box. 55 Ron's 11. Hello from Australia. Good morning to you. In fact, good afternoon to you. I suppose this is a 5 p.m. show or what for you at this moment in time. Clincy, good morning. Simon, to you as well. Alpha, Matt G, Stephen. We've got Ahmed. We've got Emrad. We've got Tabani. We've got Adian. We've got Harvey and Colin and Kaiser. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing well. Make sure you drop a like before you do anything else. It really does help us out on the channel. The show is always, let's try that again. The show, as always, is sponsored by Football Prizes. You can go over to the website now and have a look at the Dennis Bergkamp signed shirt that's still available. The early birds price has ended. It is now £4.95 a ticket, which you'll see on their website. There's 299 tickets available, but only 78 are left. 221 have already sold. So you are losing out on the opportunity. 4 days left until the draw. You've still got some time. The competition will only have one winner, but there are the opportunities to win some instant prizes, as you can see if you read the details on the show already. But yeah, make sure you get involved. Link, as always, in the description. Also, I want to tell you guys in the morning show, I know I spoke a lot about this on yesterday's preview show, which I'll talk more about in a second, but on the 2nd of September, so in just over a week's time, I think it's a week. Is it a week tomorrow? Potentially. I think, it's a week tomorrow. So a week tomorrow in Ridley Road Social Club in North London, there is going to be a live show courtesy of Mike from the Gooners Pod, who is helping to support the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society through Gooners v Cancer. A great panel of guests. I'm going to be one of the guests, as well as Harry Simew and Sophie from the Hybrid Squad and FK from Latte Firm and James Benge from CBS Sports are all going to be on the panel with Mike, of course, as host. So if you would like to come along, link to tickets are in the description. They're only a £5, and that £5 is a donation towards the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So get involved. If you've got an evening free a week tomorrow on a Friday evening in North London, get down and help support an amazing cause and have a good time, a few beers, a good few chats about Arsenal, and have a good evening. And lastly, make sure you vote for us in the FCAs if you haven't done so already. Thank you to everybody that has already voted. But it's www.votefortgt.com. You can tag us on Instagram at the Gooner Talk on their relevant Instagram post, which you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, or you can vote on the Football Content Awards website. We kick off by telling you to go and give a watch to yesterday's preview. Myself and Kian and Luke and Jeremy all had a good chat about Arsenal's match against Fulham this weekend with our predictions, some injury news and predictions. If you want to get our thoughts ahead of the game, go over to our last upload before this one. You'll find it very simply on the channel. Arsenal were drawn against Brighton in the third round of the Carabao Cup. They will play at home. This is set to take place in a few weeks, 2-3 weeks time. A really interesting fixture. Arsenal's record against Brighton is not the best. We don't have an amazing record against them, to be fair. But I think in a cup competition, it's going to be a good opportunity to swap out some of our depth players, do up against a challenging opponent in Brighton. But I think they'll make some changes to their squad as well. We should have enough to overcome them and move forward to the next round. I would like to see us go as far as we can in the cup competitions this season. But this is one of the tougher fixtures we've been given in the early rounds of the competition. But fingers crossed we can come home. Well, I say we're already at home, but take away a win at home. Now, Ainsley is a wanted man. Southampton are said to be leading the race to sign Ainsley on a season-long loan with a potential option to buy. It should be said that his year-long contract that remains at Arsenal does have an option to extend, hence why a loan can be agreed between teams, despite many, including myself, being bruised that he only had a year left. Apparently, Arsenal do have an option on his contract to extend by an extra season. But Southampton are leading the race, but there is plenty of other sides involved. Fulham, Bournemouth, West Ham United, Brighton. There are a number of teams that are all interested in signing Ainsley Maitland-Niles, but Southampton are at the moment said to be leading the race. He, however, had a preference to remain in London. That could still play a big role in whether or not he will move to one of the interested parties, but it is a deal that is expected to be completed wherever he ends up going before the end of the transfer window. Now, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, according to Estadio Deportivo, is only hours away until Betis register Bellerin for their team. There is, of course, only just over a week remaining in the transfer, and it's just about a week today, actually, I think there is remaining in the transfer window. It is indeed. This time next week will be on deadline day. So only hours, potentially, but Bellerin should make his move away from the club, be it to Betis or Barca, before the deadline comes around. But it does seem to be that Betis are the most likely destination. Arsenal, however, still holding out for that fee that they can hopefully get to enable them to, you would think, move for another player. But it's not exactly going to be loads of money. But Arsenal would rather not lose a player on a free, but they would also rather not have to spend £5 million on his wages, end up keeping him for next season. Nicolas Pepe's exit from Arsenal has been agreed with a loan to Nice. It is not said that he will have an option included in his deal, despite conflicting reports over the last week. There will be no option included in the deal to take Pepe to Nice on loan. He will therefore then return to Arsenal next summer, where Arsenal will hope he's had a strong enough campaign that he will entice interest from other teams, even though he has just a year left on his deal next summer, and they might be able to get a good price for him. We hope that he has a really, really strong loan move away at Nice, and that will benefit him in terms of his price tag for next season. Now, Newcastle United have agreed a €70 million move for Alexander Isak, of course, formerly linked with a move to Arsenal. He will play against Arsenal now in the Premier League, should this deal be completed, even though Eddie Howe in yesterday's post-match win over Tranmere was very coy about the idea of signing Isak. Isak looks to be on his way to Newcastle. Is this the big sign that we could potentially see Newcastle on the rise after those moves for the likes of Bruno Guimaraes and Trippier, etc.? Isak and Callum Wilson as a striking pair is a very good options that they've got in that number 9 position. You'd imagine now if Wilson is out, they wouldn't necessarily struggle with their forward line. And Isak is finally going to get his test in the Premier League. So let's wait and see how indeed he deals with the stresses and strains of it. But you can't expect him to be moving anywhere else now. Newcastle will be his home for the foreseeable future. Speaking of potential Arsenal transfer targets that may move elsewhere, West Ham United have levelled a €40 million bid for Lucas Paqueta of Lyon. Of course, Arsenal have been linked with Paqueta for quite a while throughout the transfer window's early periods. Edu actually came out and said that he wasn't looking to sign Paqueta. He felt that Arsenal already had a number of players who could play in his position, like Odegaard and Smith Rowe and Fabio Vieira. That said, there has been some people suggesting that Arsenal could be prompted into a move for the player. I'd be surprised if that happened. I wouldn't be shocked, but I'd be surprised if Arsenal were then kind of encouraged to move for Paqueta, even with such a low price for the player. They've seemingly got their sights set on others. Would I take Paqueta over Tielemans? I probably would, yes. I think he would be a better option for us for that kind of box-to-box role on the left-hand side to take on over Xhaka. I think he would give us more going forwards. Would it mean we would have less options in a defensive midfield sense? Absolutely. But I don't think Tielemans is going to play a number 6 role or would effectively play a number 6 role for us either. So I'd rather take the better forward-thinking player. And for me, that's Paqueta. But I don't think Arsenal will be prompted into a move. I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see. And finally, our headline story of the day is, according to the latest information, Wolves are planning to say no to any potential sale of Pedro Neto. There is no interest from them to allow him to leave. They've got a long-term contract with the player. However, we've seen teams constantly say players are not for sale, players will not leave, that they will stay, and yet they've still moved. So despite the fact that at this moment in time, Wolves are standing very firm on Pedro Neto, there is still that chance that Arsenal could convince them to sell if they stump up enough money for the player. This is one to watch, of course, until throughout the end of the window. Arsenal may be tempted to pay over the odds, which is not something they've wanted to do for players, hence why they missed out on Rafinha, hence why they missed out on Lisandro Martinez. They weren't willing to go to the kind of money, the level of Manchester United and Barcelona and Chelsea were willing to go to. They may again repeat that with Neto and decide to stick with what they've got. It was this interesting listening to the Arscast Extra with James McNicholas, who actually revealed that Marquinhos has impressed significantly this summer already, and that his inclusion in a senior team is expected to come probably, I mean, this is my view now, not James's, But I would be unsurprised if Marquinhos was involved potentially in that Brighton game in the Carabao Cup and, of course, in the Europa League group stages. They've been very, very impressed from what James Van Nicholas has heard at The Athletic as to how he's been getting on behind the scenes. So one to keep an eye on. Will that affect our potential move for Pedro Neto? I hope not. I hope we still go out and sign a really versatile forward that can give us options in both right, left and centre, because it's an area of the game that we need to make sure that we are strong in. And that completes all of today's stories, which means we're going to move on to part 2 and your questions in the chat box. So if you indeed do have any questions you'd like to throw in, now is the time to do so. Lovely stuff. As I said before, Dennis Perkamp's signed shirt available for just 4 more days, but there is only 70 or so tickets remaining. Link in the description to get involved with the latest competition. Live show on the 2nd of September at the Ridley Road Social Club in North London. If you're available in the evening, get yourself down there. Tickets are a £5. A link to where you can buy tickets is on the website. I'm sure you could probably buy tickets on the door as well, but do buy tickets on the website and get involved. Really good panel myself. I'll be on the panel with the likes of James Benge, FK from Latte Firm, Harry Simiu, and Sophie from the Hybrid Squad, joining Mike hosting things from the Gooners Pod. And vote for us, of course, in the FCAs. All the information is on your screen, or just simply go to www.votefortgt.com and it will create the tweets for you that you need to vote for us. Anyway, let's jump into the chats and go through some of your questions. Peeny Ween says, did you manage to get any football-themed inclusions in your wedding? Not really. No, there is something. I'm actually looking for it right now. I might have moved it elsewhere. I think oh no, it's right here. So I'll wait till tomorrow. Because tomorrow is, of course, the big day. I am still going to be doing a show tomorrow at 8 a.m. For those that are moaning that I shouldn't be, I'm doing nothing else at 8 a.m. Let's be real. I'm doing nothing else at 8 a.m. So we will do a show tomorrow. But there's one small thing. And I suppose Mike's presence and a few of the boys from the Arsenal way in the evening, of course, as well. But that's kind of the only Arsenal involved in things, really. Alan says, Tom, Neto for 50 or Zaha for 30. Who are you going to choose? Neto. Absolutely no doubt about it. 20 million more to invest in a 22-year-old rather than 20 million less to invest in a 31-year-old. It's a no-brainer for me. Neto all day long. Marcus says, Tom, have you the big screen set up for the match on Saturday? Nothing else happening then, is there? Good luck with the wedding. To be fair, the wedding's tomorrow, not Saturday. So I should still be able to watch the game. I better be able to watch the game. Amira says, hi, Tom. Tommy was linked to the Spuds most of last summer, but was unexpectedly, we got him on deadline day when they didn't want him. Do you see us doing something similar again with Paqueta? I don't necessarily think so. As Edu said and has come out in public and kind of mentioned, we have a lot of players that play in Paqueta's position, so I don't think the club necessarily see him as a smart investment this summer at the moment. So I'd be surprised if we went in for Paqueta. Reece says, Tom, did you watch the Rangers game? I really like the look of Kamara. I think he's more than good enough to compete with the Partey. A former Arsenal player is Kamara. We used to have him in our youth system before he moved to Rangers, Finnish international as well. I didn't watch the game, but I know that he has impressed whilst out there. Is he a potential one to look to get back? Would it avoid any potential sell-on clauses that we've inserted into that sale that when he saw him move off to Rangers? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But it's not a bad shout, actually. Might be good for depth. Ayush says, Tom, last day as a free man. How are you feeling? Best of luck tomorrow. I assume you'll be wearing the away kit. On the show, I will, but certainly not in the evening. But I've got a little Arsenal thing planned. I'll tell you about it tomorrow. Half South African says, Tom, please do a poll of 3 players that we can choose from. Okay, seeing as you asked so nicely. If you had to choose, if you could only pick one. Actually, I've got a better question. If you could only pick one option, here are your choices. You can either sign Neto and Tielemans or renew Saliba and Saka. That's your choice. Only one can happen this summer. Either it will all go to next summer. It's not saying that either of them won't happen next summer. But the only thing that can happen this summer is one of these 2 choices. The other, you'd have to wait until at least 2023 to try and sort. And of course, that would mean both Saliba and Saka going down to 1 year on their contract. So it's up to you. Would you rather sign Neto and Tielemans or renew Saka, and Saliba. That's your choice. Get voting in the chat box. Let's scroll down. I think we've had a couple of super chats that I might have missed. Sam says, Tom, still time to back out while you can. Lol. Oh, she's not going to like that if she's watching. Ryan, good morning to you. Hey, bro, I got a forklift license today. What position do you think we need to improve the most? I love that. It was just completely unassociated comments, but I love that. Congratulations on your license, mate. What position do you think we need to improve? Well, if we are going to maneuver and lift and upgrade into an area of the team, see what I did there? It's got to be a wide forward for me that can cover Saka and Gabriel Jesus. That is my personal priority this window. Rich said, Tom, we've talked a lot about the players Arsenal might need. What about the coaching staff and behind the scenes? Are there any areas you think need strengthening? I can actually tell you that the club are currently on the lookout for a number of extra positions. I did a piece on this morning for Football London. The club are currently on the lookout for a set-piece analyst for opposition sides. As a lot of you know, of course, we do have Nicholas Jova, who focuses a lot on the set pieces for us. However, the club are actually on the lookout for a set-piece analyst of opposition players. Not only that, but they're also on the lookout for, let me just have a quick check of this. I've just clicked on the same one twice. So it's a set piece specialist, and the other one is a opposition's individual. I don't know what that is. It says key responsibilities. The role will focus on providing football analysis support to the first team, primarily within, but not restricted to, the following areas. Lead in the profiling of opposition team players, focusing on adding a more specific / individual level to our pre-match processes through the application of video analytics, support in the preparation of all pre-match opposition analysis content. So whilst we've done a lot of focus on ourselves with the current kind of employees at the club and the analysts and the coaches, Arsenal are actually now on the lookout to try and sign someone or employ someone to not only look at the set pieces of other teams, but actually to analyze other teams about where we can probably exploit those players. So there you go. Yomi says, will you stream the wedding? No, I'm not going to do that. Sorry, I can't give you that. Eamon said, oh, thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate it. Very kind donation. Good luck in the wedding tomorrow. Really appreciate that. Jakey says, 100% a mistake if we don't renew Saliba and Saka. Let's see what you guys have voted on already. 80% of you have said renew Saliba and Saka. I think you're right. I would also pick that. 20% though have said they would rather see Neto and Tielemans brought in. Priorities, new toy syndrome, all of that good stuff. Let's go to Mr. Simpatico says, how can you become an analyst for Arsenal? It's a good question. I mean, let's have a look at the qualifications you need. Does it have qualifications? Yes. Main job requirements and person specification. You need experience working as an analyst at the elite level of football, experience in accurately analyzing multiple and often complex data streams in order to understand performance, experience in delivering and communicating performance insights to key stakeholders in the organization, experience in profiling elite football teams and understanding the different strategies and systems at play that they employ, an understanding of varying working methodologies and best practice within elite sports analysis. The ability, skills, and knowledge you must have is the ability to retain a very high standard of output whilst operating within strict and expeditious deadlines. I'm not learning new words. Deep technical and tactical understanding of football, such as strategy, systems, philosophies, game models. Exceptional interpersonal skills that facilitate the effective delivery of performance insights, build connections, and support a strong team cohesion. The ability to adapt to emerging technologies and their application in automating working processes, and a strong desire to continuously challenge, learn, and move forward. Now, the qualification, I know this is really riveting stuff that I'm reading you through here, but I mean, the view count's not gone down, so you're clearly enjoying it. The education, qualification, and trainings that you need to get a coach to get this position at Arsenal is a minimum undergraduate degree relating to the field of sports science, data science, and performance analysis. A postgraduate qualification desired in a related discipline is preferred. Don't think my geography degree is going to get me in there. Probably not. A UEFA B coaching license is preferred, and competencies in the following software / hardware are desired: SBG Focus, SBG Match Tracker, Huddle Sports Code Elite and Huddle platforms. That's Y Scout for those that want to know. Game on Technologies and Tableau which I've never heard of before, but I will. Arsenal believes that diversity of background, skills and experience drives our success on and off the pitch. We encourage applications from women, disabled and Black, Asian and mixed heritage candidates. We are committed to the principle of equal opportunity for applicants and employees and aim to appoint on merit from a diverse talent pool. Good to know. So yeah, very interesting indeed. Arsenal are looking for this type of thing. Harvey says it sounds like they're looking for a rocket scientist. It does, doesn't it? Yeah, they're not like lax on what you need to be able to qualify for these jobs. That is indeed seemingly to be true. And Sam says, on a real note, wish you and your partner all the best. Thanks, Sam. Really appreciate that. Very, very kind of you indeed. It's Angelus. Thank you so much. It's good luck tomorrow, brother. Been on socials hiatus, but still membered. Where are all the likes, people? Let's have a push. Thanks, pal. I mean, how many likes are we on the show? 170. Come on, guys. Let's get that up. There's over 1,000 of you tuning in today. Let's try and get the likes to 1,000 throughout the rest of the day as well, and at least try and get it to 300 on our live show. That would be great. So let's do that. Let's scroll down to Runs with Cows. Easier to buy them than my mate Joe, who's getting married on Saturday. I think you'll be getting a bowl. I don't even know what that means, to be honest. But I hope that's not a wedding gift you've got him, because a bowl, that'd be a letdown. Imagine opening that present. It's like getting socks at Christmas. A bowl? Maybe he's really into bowls. Maybe that's what it is. Ryan, shout out to everyone who congratulated me. There you go. Making it about himself. You got to love it. I respect that. Data for Worlds, stat-based football analysis, who probably has the qualifications to go and apply for that job, says, the more I see my team, I think we need a wide forward. I think Vieira will cover Xhaka's role, and I believe he has gone under the radar among the fans. I agree with you. I think Fabio Vieira has the scope to cover and compete in that left 8 position. I think that's potentially what we could be on the lookout for. A wide area as well, potentially. I think for Fabio Vieira, absolutely is something that we could be looking to see from him in the near future. His versatility is going to be absolutely key. John says, Tom, are you going to auction off a game-used tux for the wedding? I'm not actually wearing a tux. It's not very UK. We don't really wear tuxes here. It's I'm suiting up tomorrow, but there will be no auctioning off. I suppose it could be auctioned off for Gunners versus Cancer. But that said, I do kind of want to keep my wedding suit. I think it's reusable. I think I can use it other times for other things. I don't think it'll be attached massively. It's different. Like, it's not like a wedding dress. It's a wedding suit is a bit different. Sweet Munchkin. Harry was indeed invited. Unfortunately, Harry is away and can't unfortunately make it. But the boys from the Arsenal way will be there, and Mike, of course, from the Gooners pod as well, and a lot of close friends and family, of course. Akshat says, we could literally sign Mbappe, Haaland, Bellingham, De Bruyne, and people would still melt down over some other player that was linked to us that we didn't sign. Probably, yeah. I mean, there's always something to moan about in this fan base, to be fair. I have to say, one thing that's going to change is this. This is being cut today. This is a joke. I've had to hold on to how long it's got. It's ridiculous. But it's being cut today. So tomorrow morning, you'll see the wedding hair as is. Lynn says, Tom will be in a black suit and a gold tie as near to the Arsenal as possible. It is in a black suit and a gold tie. But as I said, in tomorrow's show, there is something Arsenal. Tabani says, Tom, I really like that you pronounced my name correctly. Please educate FK from Latte Verb. Oh, a late art. Is that his art channel? Has FK got an art channel now called Late Art? Maybe it is. Max says, Tom, after how many years do you think we will renew your wedding contract? Hit the likes. Do you need to do that? Or you do like the renewal of the vows, don't you? But I don't think that'll be needed. Very, very committed, loyal partnership going on. Colin says, Tom, do you know the way to a happy and fruitful marriage? It's learning these 2 simple words. Yes, dear. Wishes for a long... I've learned that a long time ago, mate. I'm well versed. Colin, I have got plenty of experience. She is number 1. Guess what she wants. Matt, thank you so much for the kind donation. All the best for tomorrow. Get a drink or 2 for me. Thank you, Matt. I really appreciate that. And thank you for the continued support. Matt's been one of our longest members and listeners on the channel. Absolute legend. Thank you for the support, mate. Let's go to Ayush. Says, Tom, has Dele Alli gone to Turkey for some sort of treatment or has he given up on his career? Look, I think that this move to Turkey is it's incredible. When you think about how highly rated Dele Alli was, like, we can all take the mick because he's a Spurs player or ex-Spurs player. He was rated so highly. Like, people were talking about him being in the England squad for the foreseeable future. He was never going to leave Spurs. He was one of their biggest assets. They had Son and Ali and Kane. And the career's just gone off a cliff. Mourinho really did a number. I mean, I'm not Mourinho's biggest fan, but respect for ruining Dele Alli's career, you know. Absolutely. I can't stand the guy. So, yeah, you know, absolute respect. Look, enjoy your time in Turkey, Ali. Enjoy it. You can wave all the way over there if you like. Lynn says, Tom, I think your partner needs a big UPS. What does UPS mean? Is it up the Arsenal? What does UPS mean? I'm probably being an absolute moron. King says, congratulations, Tom. Good luck on the new journey tomorrow. I'm very happy. Thanks, mate. I really appreciate that. Harry says, I hope we go for Paqueta, but I worry that it would be effectively blocking Emile Smith-Rowe out of the team. Do you see him getting many minutes with the depth that we have in that position? As I've said a number of times, Harry, I really think that Smith-Rowe might have a difficult campaign, struggling for minutes, struggling for opportunities, especially if we sign another wide forward and a Tielemans-style player. We really might see that struggle. But we need to be ruthless. You know, you can't hang on to players forever. You can't hang on to them and just expect everything to be fine and that they're going to get better. You should, if you want to get to the top, if you want to win titles, you've got to be ruthless. Whether that's Smith-Rowe, whether that's Saka, whether it's Saliba, if Arsenal can get someone better, that has to be the preference. It sucks sometimes because you don't want to see homegrown players move on. But we absolutely need to make sure that we see Arsenal ruthlessly improve the squads over the course of the years. So there you go. Aya says a UPS is an inverter for the computer. Okay. No, no, I guess not. Thanks to Bonnie. Really appreciate the kind words as always. Amira says, hit the likes, people. 500 likes and Tom might stream the wedding. I mean, I'm not going to do that. You can get it up to 500 likes if you like, but no, just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Let's check the poll of today's show. If you could pick one option between signing Neto and Tielemans or renewing Saliba and Saka's contract, still 80% of you have or over 400 of you have said to renew Saliba and Saka. Again, I interrupt you. So there you go. Indeed, lovely stuff. An uninterrupted power supply is apparently what a UPS is. I imagine so. It was really random, Lynn. I don't know why a UPS is so necessary. Maybe I'm underestimating the power of what is needed. We are going to round things off there. I will be back, despite it being the big day, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. because, as I said, I'm not doing anything else at 8 a.m. So I will be back then. I should also be back at some point this afternoon as well, doing a tactical breakdown on Mikołaj Mudryk. That was always in the works, and I wanted to get that out before the weekend. So hopefully that's also going to be around for you guys this afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for the kind words and support. Really appreciate it. You guys are amazing, and this channel would not be here without you. The last thing I want to say, and I'm going to keep plugging this because I want to try and get as many of you there as possible because it'd be amazing to meet more of you. We're doing a live show at the Ridley Road Social Club on the 2nd of September. In the evening. Link to tickets, only a £5, and as I say, that is a donation to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Great panel of guests: James Bench, Harry Simu, FK from Latte Firm, Sophie from the Highbury Squad, and of course our host Mike from the Gooners Pod. If you want to get involved, buy a ticket, get to meet more Arsenal fans, get to have a beer, get to meet all of us and have a good chat and a chinwag about Arsenal. It's going to be a good afternoon and evening, hopefully. So yeah, week tomorrow evening, North London, Ridley Road Social Club. Get involved, come down and enjoy yourself. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. I will see you again very, very soon. And as always, up the Arsenal.